Civilization 7 is unlike Civilization 6 or really any of the other components of the Civ system because of how you have to arrange things over time. Hey, easy with that sword there, lady. Oh, gosh. Good thing I'm an overlay or else she could cut right through here. Anyhow, where was... Oh, yes. Because we're arranging things over time. Not just within the game, but across games. Let me show you. If I click on a new game... and I pick a leader, let's say, I'll go with Catherine the Great. I haven't played Catherine the Great before, but it has these mementos. Now, what's the memento? Well, I could click on this, and all the ones that I've unlocked are available. The ones I haven't unlocked, they're grayed out. Some of these are like, okay, so to unlock this one, Yato no Kagami, I need to reach level 2 with Himiko. This one, I need to get to level 9 with Himiko. This one, level 2 with Friedrich. Level 5 with Friedrich. I get it. So all these, if I play with other leaders, I open up these other mementos. And what are they? Well, the two that I'm playing with right now are Imago Mundi, which allows me to have +3 sight instead of 1 for Scout Search. This is huge. And then there was another one here. Travels of Marco Polo. 50 gold for every 100 tiles explored by my units. So by including my large scout sight range, let's go with that, and the Travels of Marco Polo, as my scouts go out and use their discovery capability, I rack up more gold. Yeah. But like I said, I've never played Catherine the Great before, but now when I hit confirm, yes, in this game, I've got these benefits. And as I play other leaders and unlock those traits, I'm able to enjoy them. This is awesome. Now, you don't have to play with mementos if you don't want to. Oh, that looks like it's cheating. But it's not cheating. It's actually in the game. It allows you to do that. As you play more, you get rewarded more. It's gamification of the game. Gamification is where they get you to do something even though you don't want to do it. But if you gamify a game, that means you just make the game more fun and more rewarding so that over time, if you're going oh, dude, I don't want those. I want this one. I want that one. Oh, wow, that looks awesome. Actually, that does look awesome. Oh, automatic +1 science per specialist. Not as a cultural policy, but just as something that's there every time. Oh, wow. Okay, so now I need to play Confucius and reach level 9. How do I do that? Well, right now, if I hit cancel, I have reached level 4 as Amina and level 5 as Hatshepsut. I got some work to do here because I'm at level 1 with everybody else. Oh, I did get level 2 with Charlemagne because I had an abortive first game with this lad. But yeah, I've got... This is a really cool thing. Let's see what else we can do. I'm going to load my actual existing save and we'll take a look at what's going on in there. So here we are. I'm Amina of Rome. I really enjoy the leader Amina. This is a fun leader to have. Why? Well, let's take a look. I'll show you why. Let's go to the About. She's Warrior Queen of Zazao, so I get a bonus resource capacity in my cities. I get more gold per age for resources assigned to my cities, and if my combat units are on the flatland, more combat strength. This is nice. Rome looked like a good one, and why? Well, because I like civilizations that have unique quarters, where if I can have one unique quarter from each age, there's some benefits to that, and I like them. So here, if I build my Basilica and Temple of Jupiter, then we also get a bonus of culture and gold for every unique tradition in government. That, because these are ageless buildings, that would happen across the ages. So by the time I get to the late period and have all these different policies, then woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo, load up on the unique traditions, not just the ones that everybody can get, but the unique ones. And I get more gold and more culture each time I do this. And yeah, here are my mementos down here. They're kind of covered up by my head, but you see, these are the ones I took. And wow, that gets us to our scouts. If I can take a look here, where here we go. Here's a Scouterson. Or I've got another one. I think I was heading over towards Yashoda Peruda. Oh, yeah, here we go. This one will do. Okay. I'm going to travel... I've got +1 movement because I took the policy that gives my scouts 1 extra movement and 1 extra sight range. So if I click on 2 here, okay, I get to the edge. And now I already like the search function. Lookout means the scout will just stand there and look out and just keep an eye on things. So that's good when you've already explored the map and you just want to keep an eye on your borders. But but search is something where I reveal all my discoveries within twice the range of the scout. So I can already see out a certain distance, and then where these gold areas are, those are potential discoveries. Those are some cool things. You might want to go there and look them over. And they can include the goodie tiles. They're not just huts anymore. They're caves or camps, whatever. So let me go ahead and click on that, because again, if this was the normal game, I'd get like another +1. I'd see another ring around here. But with this bonus that I have for my mementos, click, whoa! I can see across the ocean. This is going to help me prepare for my exploration age, because I'm going to know what's on the other side of those waters pretty quickly, because I've already taken a good hard look now. You see? I already know. There's like 2 oceans here, and there's 2 there. Okay, that's maybe not where I want to cross over. Maybe, oh, these are 3, and there's 2, and there's 3 again. Maybe not there either. But I'm able to see all these things. I know where to go. And if I look back at the other one, clicking on this map here, I can see that right there are some spices. That's where I'm going to want to have a settlement so I can get a trade fleet going. Same thing up here. That's sugar. Drop a town there and get that resource. Fantastic stuff. And the reason why you'd want to use that discover ability or the search ability for the scout is that's what was put in the game by the game makers. It's what keeps us from having auto-explore just right now. The developers would like for us to explore with this and then give feedback on how we want to auto-explore. In other versions of Civ, you just wander around and the only way you're going to find territory is by walking into it. But here, I'm a little scout, got to the edge, looked across the waters, and saw all that. I could also be in a situation where, well, actually I've already, okay, right up here. Let's say there's way more continent over here. Well, I could get on the edge, take a look, and if there's not a lot to go into, I don't go into it. I've already surveyed it all, and it helps me fill up the areas in the middle of the map. Like, I sent my spy around here in Mesa Verde, got up out here, take a look, saw everything else, filled up the gap. I didn't have to walk there. It was faster than walking. Now, I do have up here a bit of wreckage. I do want to send a scout up there eventually, hopefully before somebody else gets there. But yeah, I can see where those spots are ahead of time because I've done that little look around. Oh, there's a cairn there. I got to get there too. Well, he happens to be in the neighborhood. Start walking across. That's what open borders are for. But the scout's ability to use the search function is fantastic. It does require movement. So normally they have 2 movement. So I move 1 and then search. Move 1, then search. Or move 1, get to a target, and then search from there. But with this capability, get to the edge of something, I can move twice and then do a search for my last movement and see so much more of the world. This is cool, especially with my ability that, it gets me 50 gold for every 100 map that I discover. That's fantastic stuff. Okay, so we've talked about the mementos and that search function for your scouts. Those are different things that you want to be able to use. Finally, what about when do I go from a town to a city? How do I make that call? All right. Well, we've got here this little warning. It's behind my head, so I click on it for you to read, and it says, I'm trailing in technology. The Han are just kicking my butt there. Well, who are the Han? Well, that is Charlemagne here of the Han. All right, we'll dismiss that. It says we have to find a way to increase our science output. And indeed, I'm making 15 sciences, and the Han are making 30. They're making double what I'm making. I'm okay on culture, but I need more science. And I did a lot of exploration that helped me find some more stuff, but I can't count on random events to give me an edge in science. I've got to go further than that. So let's take a look at my yields. Click anywhere up here in the top bar, and it gets my global yields breakdown. It says I'm making 15 of science per turn, 5 of it from cities, 2 coming from Roma, 2 from Aquiella, and 1 from Patavium. And then I get another 10 from just other benefits. These are probably the pity benefits I get from just having a capital. Yeah, this is not good. My city center is making some science. I've got rural districts making science in my other towns. If I'm going to make more science, I'm going to need more science buildings. So let's take a look at those. I'm working on making Petra right now. Well, it makes sense. I'm in a desert. Libraries are probably what I want to get in there. And why can't I build a library here in Aquiella? Why can't I build a library in Catana? These are towns, not cities. Notice how I can also build a monument in Rome. No monument here for my settlement, for my towns. So those bigger buildings require a city in order to build. Now I can get another 5 culture from a library, but I need to have something more than that if I'm going to go into the other ones. And okay, I can't view the hidden ones there. If I'm going to be able to build more, I need to convert some of these towns into cities. Now, what's going to happen there? Well, you can see that the towns make a lot more gold per turn than do cities. And if I take a look at my gold per turn, because I've got the most settlements, 5, I am making a lot of gold. Oh, poor Machiavelli is at -1. Dear, dear. Unfortunately, it's also a truth that the cities that are making the most gold are also likely to be the ones that are the best, or the towns that are making the most gold are likely the best candidates for cities because they're already very well developed and highly populated. And indeed, I've got 4, 4, 2, and there's 6 in Aquiella. Rome is 13. Now, I know that nobody else has got 2 cities. Sanapuri's got 5, Yashodapura's got 14, Chang'an is 11, Loyang is 4, Appalachia, Cahokia, yeah. So actually, as cities go, Rome ain't the biggest, huh? So if I increase my urban population, I can get my city here of Aquiella, or get my town, once it's converted to a city, I can have it start to build those other buildings. Now, is it the best candidate? Well, I've got 12 hammers here. 6, 5, 3. Rome's got 14. Yeah, Aquiella is probably going to be a good candidate for a city. I'm going to want to do something for it to have more food. I've got room for it to grow. I've spread my settlements out very widely. If I'm going to build something as a town and keep it as a town, it would be here on the margin of Rome. This little area here where I've got the food, the fish, and the incense. I don't need a lot out over here. I just drop a town, pick up the resources, and I'm done. And it would stay a town. But the others, I place them with an eye towards making them cities eventually. I wanted enough room between them that they would be able to grow and fill out, because the more room an area, the more room a settlement has, the better it's going to be as a city in the exploration and modern eras, as it fills out those tiles. In the very beginning of the game, if you have everything clustered closely, you may not notice it until very late in the ancient age. But in the exploration age is when it starts to get crowded. And that's why I say if you've got high population and you're falling behind in your civics or your science, and you've got a lot of area, make that into a city. So Aquiella is a good candidate. These ones here on the coast are also good candidates. They'll be great for the trade fleets that I'm going to be building out here for the exploration age. And this guy here on the edge of the lake, this is going to make a lot of food eventually. And I can't, 1, 2, 3. Oh, he's just short of the camels. Oh, well. But he's got some good resources. He'd also make a good one. But it's going to cost me. That's why I'm racking up gold. Gold is a very important resource in this game. And I'm going to spend some of it now. Let's turn Aquiella into a city. Boom. Yep. Kabam. And now we have my forum that I can build with the Basilica and Temple of Jupiter. This is going to get more money. This is going to get more happy and culture. And Basilica also gets me more influence which is a good thing to have because that'll help me rack up some more tribes and things of that sort, or deal with the neighbors. And if we build the forum, we're also going to get more culture and gold. So that's what this is going to look at. And the Mayans, they have a culture. Their unique quarter is good for science and stuff, and that's very nice. So yeah, when you're about to play a civilization, check the ones that have good quarters and what those buildings will do, and that gives you an idea about where you're going to guide yourself in that game. But as it is, I've built that one, and now, hey, I can go to a library. I can either purchase it or go to production, and yeah, it'll take 8 turns, but that's cheaper than buying it. And that's another aspect of it. If you're looking at wanting to grow faster, your cities, by virtue of producing, are going to grow faster. Towns are great for going out, gathering gold, and you can buy some military units and forward deploy from there, or buy merchants and forward deploy from there and have them deal damage in battles. But if you want to have consistent building and consistent generation of science and culture, you want a city. And that's what I've got here. So which one will I build first? I am falling behind. I do want to get the library, but if I also look at things that'll help me grow, like a granary and a garden, get more food, the population grows and it'll spread out. It'll snowball. If I want more science, what it's really saying is I want more food. And I'm going to drop a granary here. Now, about building these things, this is another aspect of the game that you want to look at. If it is an ageless building, it cannot be overbuilt. I want to be able to put my ageless buildings with other ageless buildings. So that way, they stay together, and if I want to build a quarter later on, I'll have space in my town for doing that. All right, that's one thing. Another one is, if I put this urban area right on the side, like where these bottom ones are, it's just going to drop it there, and I'm not going to expand my borders. I may want to do a rural development there first. That will expand the borders, get me more resources potentially, get me more territory, and then have the urban come in behind it. So really over here, this thing is generating 1, 1, and 1, 2 hammers, 1, 1, and 1 here. You know, they're all pretty light. But if I drop on top, like this one here, that's let's go. Yeah, okay, this one here, this flat tropical rainforest. It's 1 hammer, 1 science, 1 smiley. So if I dropped an urban area on that, and then went over here to develop this area, which produces the exact same stuff that this one produced, then bam, I wouldn't be behind by anything, and I'd have more net territory. But if I drop my new urban center here, I don't get that additional territory for that settlement. Now, if I was already up against the borders of another settlement here, I wouldn't worry about it. Like over here with Rome. This is a bit close to Rome here. In fact, I would wish to have this one actually go back over to Rome because it's a river area. So I'm not going to build anything more here until Rome has had a chance to expand into its river. But then that's also going to come into conflict with this with my other town over here. So, Rome's got to build out that way. But for this one, because the granary is an ageless building, I can pair it with my city hall, which is also ageless, and not worry about it. So I'll do that. Thud. There we go. And now I can grow my city. This is for the Rome. Okay, remember how I wanted to pick up that river? I'd need to pick either this plains or that plains, and it would get me into that spot there. And that's eventually going to be 3 food. But if I want to get more food, I'd need to pick out over here. But you know what? Let's take one of these here so I can get grabbing on that one, and then maybe also down to here. Because this is my capital. I want it to be big. I want to... and of these 2, this one here's got 2 hammers and 1 happy. That one's just 2 hammers. I'll pick that one. Click, thud. And now, if we take a look at Rome, let's just say we're going to build a monument. Now that tile is available there. It's not being farmed or anything, but it's associated with Rome, and that's that. Okay. Back to what else I was going to talk about. All right, so yeah, we made Aquiella a city, and now we can tell it's a city because it's got my leader's head next to it. Do I want to make another city? Well, I got this Nerd over here. I destroyed their settlement there, so too bad for him. Do I want to go with Patavium as my next city or Katana? Let's take a look. 7-5 for Patavium. Katana is 6-6. Okay, great. 6 of one, half dozen the other, literally. Katana has also got a better granary. Now, it'll cost me 800. Patavium will cost me 800. Ooh, Capua cost me 900. But wait, they were cheaper earlier. Yeah, that's going to happen too. As you buy more cities, they get more expensive. So, which one do I want to be my next city? Probably, well, Katana looks like it's good, but Patavium has also got right here, and I'm definitely going to want to make sure it can grow and help put other stuff out this way. That'll be nice to do. And it'll help me keep an eye on the Chinese down here. Got to watch out for them, you know. But as it is, that's good for me, and now I can assign some resources. Okay, well, now that Aquiella has graduated into a city, I've got these here where gypsum produces +2 production in the capital, but +4 in another city. Well, let's move it here to Aquiella and have it really leverage out. Jade +15% gold. I'd like to have it on one of these other towns, but this is a city-only resource. You can tell because it's got that. The little star here, or the little sun, is a bonus resource which can go to any settlement. This gives me +2 food and +2 production. Well, Aquiella is low on food, so we need to keep it growing there so it can fill out. I'll leave it there for now. We'll keep it that way. Okay, who you? So those are some things there that you want to consider. And as I was mentioning, you want your ageless buildings, if they can, be paired with other ageless buildings. And the ones that aren't ageless, you're going to want them where you don't mind if they get overbuilt. Let's talk about our resources as well. If I go to my lens toggle, if I want to see where I can settle a town, I can see it here. Now, I heard from people on the street that the red means you just can't settle there at all. Tan means there's no bonus. Freshwater means you get +5 happiness. That's it. +5 happiness. So where it says there's abundant resources nearby and strong yields, that's nice to know. But some of these other ones might also work out for you okay. They might be good, you know. If they're far enough away from your major cities, that's what you may want to look for. And this is something that the AI is doing. They're trying to tinker with it so they don't do as much of it. But there could be a chance that later on in the game, if I don't claim this territory, the AI comes in and drops a town and tries to hold this area down because maybe they get a wine or a gypsum resource out of it. You know, come on, AI. But definitely any area with blue is going to give my town +5 happiness. And the more difficulty you have, the more happiness you're going to want. Anyway, that's the settler overlay, and I can get that at any time. I can also go to a continent overlay and see, here I am on my continent of Gondwana, and down there is the continent of Ur, and oh, that's still Ur. Okay, and what about over here? That is still Gondwana. I guess maybe they'll become different continents once we discover more. I don't know. We'll find out. But that's not what I want to show. You can see resources. You can see the hex grid. I mean, if I turn these off, clean map. But I like to have that information, and sometimes I want even more information. Click on yields and zoom in. All right. You can see that this is turn 64. My yields are not going to be fantastic. They're just not. But this yield view is going to be critical when you get into later ages. And you're wondering, where should I overbuild or not? Let me give you an example of that. All right, here's a modern era map. My previous game where I was running the Americans as a MENA, and let's take a look at our yields. Okay, I can turn that off and we'll see just fine here. Okay, wow, that's a lot of numbers. Well, let's take a look at some of these places over here. Like, this one's only getting me 4. This one's only getting me 2. Well, they are ancient wonders. Okay, I see what I did there. But if I look at some of these other buildings, like this one here that's generating has a university, medieval walls, a museum, and it's generating 3 science and 20 culture. all the cultures coming from the museum. That university was making a lot more science in the previous age. Now it's down to 3. And if I look at Copan and decide I want to build something on here, yeah, I can take my laboratory and drop it on top of the university and definitely make more science there. Get rid of it. This other one here, this just says it would this one won't even overbuild. Oh, sorry, build over university, because there's a armor, medieval walls, and university. There's a little thing where the medieval walls are going to show up instead of the university. Well, let's take a look there. All right, this is, well, nope, doesn't have a university, actually. There's only 3 hammers there for the armorer. So that is, again, the armorer was awesome last era. This era, not so cool, man. This is why overbuilding works. So don't think that you're losing out by overbuilding, provided you've already got all your other sites taken care of. I mean, I'm still getting 3 hammers off of that site, and if I had empty territory, let's go back to that. Let's say, yeah, I want to build me a laboratory. Now, if I had totally empty territory that was available to build on, I could do it. Or if I look over here and hover over this plains area, it's a clay pit getting me 2 food, 6 hammers, and 3 happies. I could go, well, I don't know, is that a good trade-off for 7 science? Or maybe going over here where I have no science being made at all and getting 8 more science there. Even if I lose the 3 hammers, that's still less of a loss than losing 6 hammers here. And so you can get that information if you use that resource view. And it is available while you're looking at the city. You just have to remember where the city center is. You can find it if you find where the city hall is. You can figure out from there and what all is in there. But definitely having that resource view allows you to determine what is working and what isn't working for your town when you try to do overbuilding. I didn't know about this the first couple times I was playing, and then I just sort of stumbled into it when I saw another YouTuber clicking around down here in the map view area to get the settler view, and I thought, what else is there? And I saw the yields, turned that on, and went, oh my gosh. And now I can see, wow, that city center is really jamming. 15 food, 9 hammers, yeah, gold, science, art, happiness, whoa. Now, a little caution. If you're scrolling around on the map, it's not slowing things down, but it is a little busy. It's like, okay, I'm getting hypnotized. I don't see water. I just see 3 food and 3 hammers, and like, let me turn the yields off. Now I can plan things out better. If I turn off resources, I can not see that either. But I like to leave the resources on most of the time, so I'll do that. But turning yields on when you're about to build and get into that area is a good thing, particularly in exploration age and in the modern age when you're doing overbuilding. In the ancient age, you don't overbuild. If you are replacing a rural area, you could just hover over it and it'll give you a report like this is doing here. Just so here's the output that it is right now. If you build on top of it, you lose that and you get whatever it is from what you're building. And it's as simple as that. But I hope this helps you out. I'm going to go to my other game and play that because it's a lot of fun. And oh, by the way, you got to have military units, especially on the higher levels of difficulty. Just plan on building out your army. You just plan on it. And I like it a lot better than the barbarians in Civ 6. It just works out better this way. Don't know why, it just does. In fact, it works out better than the barbarians I've had in any other game. I've seen those before and just gone, oh no. I see these and go, all right, bring it, because I built my army. So, hope this helps you out. Hope you like, comment, and subscribe. And don't worry, I'm going to make more Victoria 3 content if you're waiting for that. And if you're wanting more Civ 7, I'm going to do that too. So, we'll see ya on the flippity flip. Bye-bye. Be nice to each other too.